drum fans, this is an unboxing of a PDP Center Stage kit. I bought this kit for a few reasons. First of all, it has a 14 by 20 inch kick drum. I really like that. I'm not a thunder kick kind of person. They just seem bulky and they get in the way, and this was the only one that I could find that had a 14 by 20. This kit will lead a rough life. It will play outside. It will be played out in the sun. It's gonna get rained on. Everything bad that can happen to a kit will happen to this one, which is why I don't buy expensive kits. I just buy the cheaper ones and kind of use them up, and that's how it works. So, and as you can see, everything's boxed up pretty good in here. Looks like the first thing we have here, I'll be real careful. First, on top we have what look like kick drum heads. Then we have these amazing cymbals. Oh boy. Snare drum stand. Seems pretty light. Cymbal stand seems also pretty light. Hi-hat stand seems really light. Kick drum pedal. Let's get to some drums and see what they look like. Here's one of the tom-toms. This is the white sparkle finish. I got this because I really wanted a silver sparkle kit. And it was going to cost a lot of money to recover a kit in silver sparkle. I know that this is more, but it should be fine. Okay, so we're missing here. We're missing the screw for this tom. I like how light these are though. Here's the seat top. This is the 10-inch tom. Super, super light. I just love that. I didn't really want drums with all of the external tom mounts and all of that. It makes the drums really heavy. They probably do sound better, but for the gigs I do and stuff like that, it doesn't matter so much. I can put good heads on it and make this drum set sound great. There's the floor tom and there's the bass drum there. Clamp the bass drum down. So this kit has metal hoops. That's pretty much standard for a kit at this price point. They're okay. They're pretty indestructible. You don't have to worry about banging them up or scratching them or clamping down too tight on them. So that's okay. I much prefer wood hoops, but for what this kit is, it should be fine. I found the tightening nut for this tom. It was laying on the bottom of the box, so I'm thankful for that. Here's the bass drum. Here's the tom mount. It seems okay. The spurs on this are pretty nice. This whole thing here is fairly heavy duty. Sometimes you have to worry about that on these less expensive kits. I tell you, I still really am impressed with this color though. It's a great kind of, they call it white sparkle like I said, but it's really more of a silver sparkle, and I think it should be pretty nice. This bass drum is nice and light. Here's a box of random hardware. I'm sure it's floor tom legs and lug nuts and tom mounts and other things. This box says snare stand. I don't think so. Okay, let's look at this real quick. So literally the lightest snare drum I own or have ever owned. So you can pretty much guarantee that these lug casings, well, you can feel them, they're thin. The throw off here, it looks okay. There's a plastic piece here, but the rest of it is metal, and it feels nice and solid. I've had some other cheap kits where the throw-offs are just terrible. So anyways, that's it. I'll tune it up and figure out what it sounds like and all of that, but man, holy cow, is it light. Okay, as I mentioned in this random box of hardware, there are the two tom mounts. Sorry. So with these type of mounts, the thing you have to worry about the most is you have to worry about these screws here. There's not much else that really goes wrong on these. But these screws crack and break and strip out. This one feels pretty solid. And if necessary, you can replace it. So I'm not so worried about these. These are the mounts I wanted. Like I said, I didn't want any of the isolation mounts or anything like that. They're just too heavy. I don't feel like messing with them. This looks like the seat bottom. Let's look at that. Okay, so on the picture on the website, this thing looked like it would be fairly flimsy and cheap, but this is actually not bad. I'm never crazy about rivets like this on a seat because, you know, typically you want something a little heavier, heavy dutier that's going to last you a while. I'm still not nuts about those, but the metal on this seems like it'll be pretty good. Yeah, so it's just cheap, not great. Super light though, which I've got some really heavy duty thrones. I alternate between a rock and sock and a Tama hydraulic throne. And carrying around those makes you tired. And this thing is super light. I need an extra cushion on here because that's not much at all. But I don't know, we'll have to see how it works. Hopefully these rivets will hold up my fat for a while. Floor tom legs. Bass drum hardware pack with other miscellaneous hardware in it, and you get your own super light pair of drumsticks for throwing into the crowd at the end of the show. Because if they hit someone, I don't really think it's going to hurt too bad. It might be getting hit with a toothpick or something, but yeah. I do like these floor tom legs. They're nice and thick and heavy duty. I like the, they've got a nice big rubber ends on them that don't look like they're gonna go anywhere for a while. So these actually look good. For a cheap kit, there are some really nice parts to it. Okay, I've seen some bad heads in my life, but this one, these are paper. On some of these cheaper drum sets, they'll come with heads that are a little bit better, Remo UT series or whatever. But these ones, man. So this all looks good. I'm happy with this. I put an EC2 on there. It needs to be tuned up some more. But it's not bad for the first try. But just know if you get this kit, you're gonna have to buy some heads. One other thing to note about this, these lugs are not smooth at all. They're just like, it's like sandpaper going in there. It really is. I would have expected a little bit more from DW for $600, which is what this kit cost. I mean, you can get other comparable kits for around the same price. So while we're doing this crazy long review, let's take a second and just look at the hardware that came with this kit. So this is the bass drum pedal. I'll just go through and tell you what I like and what I don't like about it. So this is the beater that came with it. This is just like hard. It feels hollow, but it's just hard plastic, and I don't like that at all. The reason I don't like that is because you're just going to beat the crap out of your bass drum head. As you can see here, I put a really good bass drum head on here, and I'm not going to have this cheap hard plastic thing wear it out in 3 gigs. That's just, I'm not doing that. So honestly, I don't know why they put this on there, but yeah, not a fan at all. So I put this old felt bass drum beater on there. It should last longer. So let's go through some of the good things real quick about this pedal, and then I'll go through the bad. So one of the good things is that this footboard is pretty nice. It could be a little smoother if you're a flat foot like I sometimes am, and you flap that foot up there to get those doubles a little quicker. It's nice to have a slicker footboard. This has a bit of a texture to it, but I think I could still achieve that effect with this. Of course, on a cheap pedal, there's no brace board down here, so you can't expect that. One of the good things is this chain is a little thicker. It's a little bit wider of a chain, which that gives me some more confidence in that there. This part is metal. I like that. That's a good thing. It has two locks for the two beater locks. That's a really good thing, because if one of them comes loose and your beater doesn't go flying off and hit you in the face while you're playing a song. This part is adjustable here. So, any standard pedal kind of has that. So let's get to the things that I just severely dislike about this thing, and why, if, you could use this for a while, but if you bought this kit, you're going to need to buy another pedal. This is plastic. It's got a cheap screw that screws into this thing, and it's just cheap, flimsy plastic. I'm pushing it in right now. I can feel it giving. That's flipping horrible. On something that has this much pressure on it constantly, that gets this much use, I can't figure out. I would like to meet the engineer that thought that was a good idea, or maybe I wouldn't like to meet them, because that's ridiculous. That's just crazy. I can't figure out. This is the first pedal I've ever seen in my life where that's plastic. I can't figure it out. That's just, I could keep going. This screw down here is under the pedal. Some of them have them on the side. The one on the side, if you have to set up and tear down as much as I do, the ones on the side are so much more convenient. They're so much more easy to get to. This thing is just gonna annoy the crud out of me. So anyways, there's that. For reference, just so you can see what other cheap pedals are like, here's another cheap pedal. First of all, the chain is narrower, thinner, cheaper quality. Second of all, well, I thought this was plastic. It's actually metal. It's actually good metal, and pretty heavy duty. It only has one screw lock for the bass drum. This part, of course, check it out. It's metal. That's not going anywhere. You can use that for a long time. You don't have to worry about that, even though this is a cheap pedal, and the footboard is really cheap and these grooves are not good at all. But this is kind of a standard pedal that comes with a lot of the kits. I've seen the same exact pedal come on some of the really cheap kits that you get from Amazon. It's the same thing. So anyways, I don't know what to say about some of the things on this pedal. It's disappointing what you're spending $600 for here. Snare stand, it's okay. It's fairly light, which that's great for me. I'll use it. One of the things I do like about this hardware are the adjustment nuts here. They're nice and rounded. They're nice and smooth. On the cheaper hardware, sometimes you get where they've got sharp ends and they're uncomfortable to tighten and things like that. They even make a tool now for tightening these things, so you don't bruise up your fingers when you're tightening your hardware. You won't have a problem with this. These These are nice and smooth, easy to tighten. I don't ever over tighten any of my stuff anyways. I prefer to use the memory locks there. This one came with that memory lock there. For anybody that's just getting into this, if you over tighten your hardware, first of all, it's not necessary to, tighten it with pliers or, brute force or anything like that. If you over tighten your hardware, it's just not going to last as long. So you're going to strip out your bolts and all of that. It's just not necessary. You can tighten it, a good amount, about like that is all you need. It'll stay there all night. You can beat the crud out of your drums however you want to do it, and it'll be just fine. And if you have these memory locks, that's going to help you too. So this snare stand, it's okay. The snare basket here, there's a plastic adjustment knob here. Most all of them are plastic now. It's you have to get into the more expensive stands before you get metal adjustments, but this one feels sturdy enough. Again, I'm not one of those guys that puts the snare in there and just tightens the living daylights out of that. It's not necessary. There's no need to do that. So anyways, snare stand okay. Hi-hat stand, same sort of design as the bass pedal with this foot plate. I played it a little bit. It seems fine. I'm used to more expensive hi-hat stands, but this one is super light. I'll use it just because it's so light, and so for rehearsals and stuff like that, there's not anything wrong with this hi-hat stand at all. I'm not sure. The double bass pedals I use, I have an old DW5000, and I also use some different ones. Like my Speed Cobra it's not going to fit in here. The DW might fit, and I have an old Pearl one that I tried, and it barely fits in there. So if you are definitely planning on being a double kicker, you'll probably have to get a different hi-hat stand, but this hi-hat stand is okay. I like this chain. There, it seems nice and heavy duty. The spring action seems good. It's not adjustable, but I wouldn't expect that on, a cheaper hardware stand. The clutch here is okay. It seems fine. This part is a little bit kind of cheap, so you may have to upgrade that at some point. But I mean, I've bought some good hi-hat clutches, and I've had to, over time, they just get so much wear on them that you have to replace them anyway. So again, memory lock there. So hi-hat stand okay. So to wrap up this crazy long video, I hope that if you are shopping for this kit, I hope that you got something out of everything. I bought this kit from Sweetwater. I pre-ordered it because they didn't have this color in stock. My salesman Alex was awesome, as you would expect from Sweetwater. He let me know every step of the way what was going on with the thing coming in and them shipping it out and all of those things. So we'll see how this thing holds up. I'm really not sure what PDP is trying to do here, or DW is trying to do with this set. I can't tell whether it's a total beginner set or a step up from that. It seems like for that, at that price point of $600, it should be a step up from a beginner set. You know, better than you would get on some of the really inexpensive kits on Amazon. But some of this hardware is on par with those cheaper sets that you would get on Amazon. Last year, a friend of mine bought an E-Star kit for her son. I put it all together for her, and they were, frankly, for $200. Some of the hardware was equal to what this is. The symbols on this, I don't even know why they put them in there. They're just, man, they're so bad. And the symbols on that E-Star kit, I think, were maybe even a little bit better than they were on this. You could order symbols from Temu and they would be probably these exact symbols. I don't know. I'm not sure, you know, if the whole idea is just to have everything in a box and you don't have to buy anything. But there are just way better cheap symbol options out there. Holy cow, these symbols were, I think, the worst symbols I've ever heard. Anyways, so I'll play this kit. I'll take it to some gigs. I'll see how it does. I like how light it is. It's going to be easy to transport. That's a real plus. That's why I got this 14 by 20 for smaller stages. So we'll see what happens with it. I will report back to the comments in this video about what I think about it after using it for a little while. Again, I hope you got something out of this video and it just didn't bore you to death. So happy drumming.